Alright, welcome to addition and subtraction of rational expressions. So, we are starting a new unit here. And forewarned, this video is a bit lengthy because, just like with our addition and subtraction, multiplication and division of square roots, there are a lot of little details with these rational expressions that we're going to have to go over. So this is a lengthy video and I apologize already in advance, but we want to get this right. So, what is a rational expression? Well, 3/5, 5x plus 2 over 3x minus 1, 4x squared minus 3x plus 1 over 5x minus 7. So, basically it's a fraction. Now we've worked with fractions before, but now our fractions are going to get complicated. We're going to take everything we've learned throughout the year and combine it here. How to simplify fractions, how to get a common denominator, how to simplify quadratics, how to just simplify an expression in general. We're combining that all right here, right now. So this is kind of like a culmination of everything we've done this year. So, if we look below that line, you see we have 2 over 7 plus 3 over 7. Now we know from our math knowledge that we can add these because they have a common denominator. 2 plus 3 is 5, and that denominator stays the same. It does not change. We do not add the denominators. Well, that is the same idea that we're going to use over here with 4x minus 1 over 2x plus 2 plus 5x plus 3 over 2x plus 2. We're going to do that same idea, and we look, do we have a common denominator? If we don't have a common denominator, we have to get one. But don't worry, we're not going to touch on that until a little bit later. So right now we have that common denominator. So we get to add the top. So all we're going to do is combine like terms, something we've done all year. 4x plus 5x, 9x, negative 1 plus 3, 2, over 2x plus 2. Now, once you have combined your two fractions together, what you then need to do is you need to simplify completely the top and simplify completely the bottom of that fraction and see if there's anything else that we can possibly get rid of. So, is there anything we can factor out of 9x plus 2? Doesn't look like it, so it looks like we get to keep 9x plus 2. Is there anything we can factor out of 2x plus 2? A 2. They both have a 2, so we factor out that 2 and we get x plus 1. Now, as you see here, we can't divide by 2 to cancel out that 2 on the outside. That x plus 1 isn't going to work, so we're stuck with this as our answer. So this is simplified completely. And that was just a little bit of a taste, so let's go into a bit more. So we're going to do 3 examples, and you're going to get to do some examples, and then we'll learn a new concept with these, adding and subtracting. So here, we're going to start on the left. We're going to add 6n over 30m plus 2m plus 4n over 30m. Common denominator. Awesome. We can add straight away. So we're going to get 6n plus 4n. That's 10n. And that 2m, we don't have anything to add it with, so here we go. Over 30m. Okay, so it looks like we can try to factor the top. We can't do anything with the variables, and an m are different, but that 10 and that 2 we can factor out of 2. So we factor out of 2 and we get 5n plus m over 30m. Now, we cannot simplify these m's. We could only simplify if there was an m in all 3 here. But there's not. It's an n. Think of the plus sign and the minus sign as a trap. If there's a plus sign or a minus sign there, it's trapping those two together. So if you can't do something to both of them, you can't do it to just one of them. That's why for this 2 we were able to pull a 2 out, because 10 and 2 both have a factor of 2. We could pull a 2 out of both of them. Now if we look, this 2 and this 30, they're going to simplify. So we get 5n plus m over 15m. And that's it. Again, this 5 and 15 cannot simplify them because there's nothing to simplify over here with the m. On the right, x plus y over 18xy minus 5x plus 3y over 18xy. Now, whenever it comes to subtraction, just like when we were adding our polynomials, let's change that subtraction to addition. And when we do that, it's going to change everything in the numerator of our fraction to the opposite. So that's now negative 5x plus negative 3y. Now we can combine our like terms. So x plus negative 5x, negative 4x. Y plus negative 3y, negative 2y, over 18xy. We cannot cancel any x's or y's because not everything has an x and a y. So let's look at the numbers. Looks like with that negative 4 and that negative 2, I can pull out a 2, or I could pull out a negative 2 if I wanted. But let's just pull out a 2. So we get negative 2x minus y over 18xy, and that 2 and the 18 will cancel, or reduce, I should say, negative 2x minus y over 9xy. Okay, so there's our answer. And one more. Again, common denominator. And after you do this one, you'll get to try some on your own. So common denominator, we can simplify. Add the a's. So 5a minus 6 over 6a squared plus 30a. So there's nothing we can do to the numerator. So let's simplify the denominator and see if there's anything that happens there. So from the numbers we can pull out a 6, and it looks like they both have an a, so we pull out an a. So we're left with a plus 5. We can't do any simplification here. Not everything has a number that'll factor out, so that is our answer. Okay, so here's a couple for you to try on your own, so go ahead and pause the video and try these now. Alright, and here are the solutions to those examples, so go ahead and check my work with your work. Do that. We're going to move on. And we're going to talk about another way to do these. Now, it's actually not new to you, but it's just a little different. So look, we have common denominator. That's awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to add just like before. So we add and we get 2x minus 3. What we're going to do after that is we're going to bring our common denominator over. So we get x squared minus x minus 20. And we want to simplify this denominator to see if we can simplify the top at all. I'm sorry, not simplify the top, but reduce in the numerator and denominator. So we're going to have to factor that quadratic. So we're going to bring back in previous stuff. So x squared minus x minus 20. I know that factors to, I need something from negative 20, or I'm sorry, from 20 to get me a negative 1. I know that's going to be 4 and 5. It's going to be negative 5 and positive 4. So it looks like we get 2x plus 3, sorry, not plus 3, minus 3 over x plus 4, x minus 5. Now it looks like we cannot do any more reducing, so this is our answer. Again, you may need to refresh yourself on simplifying quadratics by factoring. That's alright. Here's an example for you to try so you can actually practice that. So go ahead and pause the video and practice this now. Alright, and here is the answer to your example problem, so go ahead and check your answer with mine. And we're going to go over the last way to do this. And this this method is just getting a common denominator. And getting a common denominator now is not going to be easy way back when we did Unit 1, where you're just multiplying some numbers. We're going to be multiplying some expressions together with variables. Luckily, you've done this before. So again, it's just a little bit of review and sharpening those skills up. So already we see there's a subtraction, so let's change that to an addition, make that a -3. We have an x plus 2 in the denominator and an x minus 1 in the denominator. Those are not common denominators. So what we're going to do is we are going to make them common denominators. The easiest way to do that is to multiply each fraction by the other denominator. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this fraction by x minus 1 over x minus 1, and we're going to multiply this fraction by x plus 2 over x plus 2. So once we do that, we get 6 times x minus 1 over x plus 2 times x minus 1 plus -3 times x plus 2 over x plus 2 x minus 1. So you see we get a common denominator now. Now we have to do a little bit of touching up with our numerators. So we do a little bit of distributing so we can add these together. So we get 6x minus 6 over x plus 2 x minus 1 plus -3x minus 6 over x plus 2 x minus 1. Now we get to combine our like terms, and we get 3x minus 12 over our x plus 2 x minus 1, and we can factor out a 3, so we get 3 x minus 4 x plus 2 x minus 1. So it's a little bit lengthy, but again, it's just a bunch of little steps. Here is an example problem for you to work on your own. So go ahead and pause the video and work on that now. Alright, and here's the answer to that example problem. So go ahead and check your work. Once you do that, this video is over.